Hi guys, welcome. My name is Shaquan and I am the trading educator at SLFX Trading and Steady Investments Club. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about how to align your structures, okay? So basically, we're going to be looking at a zone and trend lines and trend just to understand how we can align structure together, okay? But before we get into it, go ahead and subscribe to the video for my people on YouTube. And if you're here on Instagram, be sure to follow me at SLFX_trading. So right now we're taking a look here at pound New Zealand dollar on the weekly time frame. And what we really need to notice is we need to notice that price has been in an uptrend just here in this area here, okay? So we've been slightly pushing up forward. But now what you're going to notice is, and this is where trend comes in, that right now we're currently going down. But now we need to kind of scale in just a little bit to see what's really going on. And what you guys will really notice is this pair is actually in a strong downtrend. So that's something that we need to keep in mind and that we really need to notice. So since we're in a downtrend, this area that looks like an uptrend is just a retracement. So that's something that we really have to understand, because there's a difference between a trending market and then a retracing market and then a reversing market. So we really have to start understanding those key components, right? But when it comes to trading, we need to kind of understand, like, why has the market retraced and where can it potentially go to next, okay? So that's what I'm about to start teaching you guys and really putting together what's going on, okay? So if you haven't heard already, I have an ebook that teaches you this. It's called How to Read a Price Chart. You could click the link down below to actually purchase it, okay? So it's a really good ebook, really quick, 25 pages. Charts throughout the whole thing, and I give you my special trading setups at the end of the book, okay? So plug right there, right? So let's go ahead and get into it. So what you're going to notice is here, what we have is a little pause in the market on the weekly time frame. And what you'll notice is that the market came and tested this 1, 2, 3 times. And this was something that I gave to my students at SLFX Trading, because I said, you know what, guys, I really do think that we could reverse from this zone here. But this wasn't the only reason why. Like, I had more confluences going alongside with this. And here's the confluence that I built out for this trade. For one, it was this zone. So that's the first part. And let me talk about zones really quick, a few seconds on zones. My zones are not support and resistance zones, because if it were support and resistance, it would be more so for the popular areas in the market where the market has touched more than 2 or 3 times. For me, that's my support and resistance. These zones are more based on supply and demand, because the market moves in big spurts and I want to catch those big spurts, okay? So that's what this was, because there was a pause. And if the market is going to come and test something, for one, it's going to come and test a particular area of price action and a pause in the market based on a higher time frame. That's another teaching for August, okay? So also, with that being said, I'm hosting workshops in July talking about trend and trend lines, which we're about to get into right now. So if that's you and you want more of a detailed step-by-step in how to understand trend and trend lines and how to create rules based around those, make sure you click the link down below or in my bio for those on Instagram, so that you can have a seat. It's only a 100-seat limit, so that you can have a seat and it can be reserved for you, okay? Now, what we'll notice is that when price was pushing up, we could have drawn a trend line going up. Because when it comes to trend, you have to notice a few key areas and a few key things. We were making lower highs right here when price was trending down. But then we got a higher high, higher high, higher high. But these higher highs are not what's important. It was actually the higher lows. Because once price came and it made a higher high, this higher low mattered more, because now we have a group. We have a higher high and a higher low. And then we got another higher high, another higher high, another higher high, and another higher high. But then what happened was we came and we made a new lower low. So once we saw that, that's when I informed my students, like, guys, this could be the area where we can make a potential lower high here. And once this candle presented itself, I also did another YouTube video, which you guys can go back and watch. I'll link it somewhere here. And I also did a video on Instagram TV. You guys can go back to my Instagram TVs and you will see that I actually made a video on this pair as well, when the market was here in this area too. And I just stated, you know what, we can go down a little bit lower. Now, this is all based on the overall trend. Now, when it came to the current trend, this is when we were trading in this area here. But what I want you guys to notice is how quick I was able to put that together. But let's talk about adjusting for just a quick second. We have 1, 2 hits to this trend line. Eventually, this trend line could have been adjusted by the wicks or whatever you use. I personally use the line chart. It could have been adjusted to where we're tapping into more areas, right? Now with pound New Zealand, you have to understand how this pair moves. It's very volatile. It can consolidate a lot because of the New Zealand currency, and it's very volatile because of the pound currency. So it's not going to make for really good structures. But in certain areas, it does make for really good structure. So that's why I do like this currency pair. But you have to be careful because, like I said, it will consolidate a lot, which we could see it consolidated here, it ranged here, and now we have a breakout, which we're going to go to a lower time frame to spot. So once this trend line was broken and we got that lower low, what are we expecting to be made next? A new lower high, which this is the potential new lower high. So now we drop down to our daily time frame, and as you guys can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits in this area, which makes this a really, really strong trend line, okay? So it's different when you drop down in time frames, right? This is multiple time frame analysis. So what we're gonna notice from this area now is the fact that once we broke down, we could see when price came into this range, how we rejected it once again, making this a very strong zone, okay? But at the same time, what we're gonna notice is we could have even drawn another trend line here. And what you'll notice is we have 1, 2, 3, 4 hits to this trend line. And this trend line could have been adjusted a little bit more if we wanted to, where we could get these last few hits in here as well. But this is subjective because everyone is going to draw their trend lines differently. This is the subjective part of trading because not everyone is going to do the same thing time and time and time again, right? But just how we did on the weekly time frame, you guys can see it's transferring down to the daily time frame now. The reason being is because what you do on a higher time frame, you can do on a lower time frame. Like, don't get it twisted. Just because we look at lower time frames does not mean the rules change. Your rules are going to stay the same, time frames change, okay? So that's something I love to say to my members. Your rules are the same, time frames change, okay? It's all about mindset. So once this trend line was broken, we can see that we got a retest, right? And same here, we got a retest to our zone. And the zone could have easily been drawn here just as well as how we did on the weekly time frame. You can see that we had another pause in the market here, and then the market broke, and then we pushed back up. Then we have that same pause here, the market broke, and now we're pushing back down. So if this is our true lower high here, then yes, we can see some more bearish momentum. How are we going to get there? We don't know. It's however the market is going to move. But as you can see, when you line things up like this, it's easier to see the direction, and it's easier to see when the retracements are going to form, and it's easier to see your structures that go in between, even in the smaller areas, as you drop down time frame per time frame per time frame. And that's something that I'm going to be teaching this month. And also next month in August, we're going to focus on zones such as support and resistance, supply and demand, quicker zones as well, as you see here on my chart as well. So because there's a difference between every level and zone that you personally draw, and you have to know those difference in order to actually trade them, okay? So you guys, I hope you all enjoy this quick analysis on pound New Zealand, but also this gives you insight on kind of how to go forward and trade pound New Zealand as well. Remember, this is just my opinion, you guys, and how I read the market, but this is a quick tip on how to put structures together when it comes to trading. So like I said, subscribe if you're on YouTube. Click the link in my bio that's going to be down below if you're on YouTube also. And then if you're on Instagram, go ahead and follow me, and then go ahead and click the link in the bio as well to reserve your seats for the workshops, you guys. So without further ado, I hope you all have a great trading week. See you guys on the inside.